Hello. I have started most of this process on my own, and I felt drawn to just posting it here so I get a little more comfortable once I start this process over in reversals. I do have three cards left, so not shuffling, but every time that I finish a card, I put it away so I make sure that it never shows up again. This is half the deck. By the end of this, I'm doing a full spread. I don't know if I'll post it. I might, because I did that with the other half of this deck. Um, but let's begin. I might go for the middle one. I don't know. Okay, two cards left. This is actually so insane. It's it's kind of beautiful to because I've been going through a rough patch in my personal life, and it feels like the end, and I'm just like, oh my god, like I'm just stuck here. I'm never getting out of here. Nothing is changing. But actually, so much has changed, and doing this process has actually like helped me see how time, like like when you journal and you've been journaling for a few years or a few months or I don't know, like a while, that when you look back, you notice the difference. I feel like that's just another way of doing that. I find quite therapeutic. An end of a cycle and a place for growth. It's interesting that it's coming near the end of this process. I've not seen it at all, like at the bottom or the middle when I checked at times. Along the Knight of Pentacles, I think that's the only one that kind of has the horse not fully in frame, and maybe it's kind of hinting at the slowness that comes with an end of a cycle. You kind of have this space where you're still waiting for things to, like the residue, to kind of evaporate. And does, while that's happening, you're kind of in a stagnant place. It's not really much going on, and you're kind of just trying to move to the next. I'm not really getting anything else. So I might just shuffle the cards.
Hmm. It's the Knight of Swords. We got that card yesterday as well. And then the one emerging from the subconscious.
Kind of confusion that's been coming from possible a little bird me told me things kind of going around, if people have been talking about you. And this is my experience alone, so I'm not sure if it aligns with others, but at times it I feel crazy as I say this, and I can hear people's opinions, um especially like when it's a very intense kind of moment and there's just like lots of silence, and they're not really speaking. I can kind of read the body language and energy, and I hear things, and it genuinely, it especially in times where like this person ends up denying it. It's like, okay, well, generally this could just be in my mind, and it's hard to know because some things are genuinely just my mind. I'm saying genuinely quite a lot. um, it's it's just confusion. You're just like aware of how things could be perceived, and that's what you're kind of trying to step away from. And as you step away from that, you're kind of entering this unknown um side uh of like what comes next, of after you're kind of that I don't know why I'm feeling um extremely perceived as I speak right now, and I'm not sure why. um Maybe perception. It's just like knowing that other people are like they, they've known you, and they've seen a part of you, and you've moved on and grown from that. But because you didn't get a chance to like sort out any miscommunications, now they're just like left to have this mm, person in their head that is nowhere close to who you are as a person, and it's only because of their projections that they're seeing you in that way. And it can feel a little terrifying knowing that. um okay, I'm not sure if I'm making any sense. So we're stepping away, we're moving to the moon. Kind of like justice kind of was not really served here. You don't think there was a balance of things that happened. So you're I think that's probably the next thing that's going to come up is like it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair for these people to make assumptions, then kind of when people already have an image of you in their mind, it's very hard for you to change it regardless of what you do. They usually kind of step in the room with you already wanting to add more evidence to what they believe. They're not curious or open to, I could be misunderstanding this person. And I say this because I have done this. I am actively doing that right now. I'm trying to step away from it, but there's a lot of layers that I have with this person. But I am aware that I have bias, and I'm trying to work through it. But not everyone will do that for you. And you're kind of trying to step away from that. And what's kind of going to come up next is you feeling out of control and never knowing anything, if like never being certain about if you will always be misunderstood by the people, or if like say you have left people behind and now you're like, okay, what about the people around me right now? Like, how do I know that they're not doing the same thing to me? And um what if there's like such a big misunderstanding and none of us are doing anything about it, so it's just building in the background, and then it comes out of nowhere and you're confused, and then the same process happens again of like never getting justice for anything. And I don't know, this is like a it feels a little loop. Like I feel like my head is spinning as I'm speaking, so it's like it's something that would keep you up at night, and you're like, oh my god, like what are the answers? When will I know anything? I feel so out of control. uh but what's kind of stepping up from the subconscious, what's being worked at, is there's a union that's occurring between you, and that's the subconscious and the conscious. I'm just taking this party as the subconscious, and I'm taking this as kind of looking up to the conscious, so I'm it identifies with that more. At least that's how I'm reading it now. And maybe you're doing like hypnosis or like guided meditations or like affirmations to kind of rewire your limiting beliefs within your mind, because you know that some of these like some of these patterns are created because other people are not really engaging their subconscious. And I don't think we'll ever be completely aware of everything that goes there. It's not like, okay, moving on, I'll leave that there. You're tapping into it. That's kind of what I'm getting here. You're really trying to connect with your emotions as well as the ones that run within your subconscious. Because those have been there for a very long time. They've been building. And it's kind of like with time you're gonna be like kind of a master of your mind and the way it stores your emotions and processes it. God. Okay, this is 10 minutes of me speaking just of these cards, so moving to the end. Something to keep in your heart to connect with this energy better. It's a nice way to end this. I will. Let's just read it. People will always have their own expectations of who they think you should be. Their opinions are almost always based on restrictive societal norms and therefore are extremely unrealistic. No matter what they tell you, remember that you have permission to be whoever it is you most wish to be. You don't need anyone else's approval, only yours.